Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Ori-filled weekend here, as it's been for the last few weekends, as we are rounding out the last few matches here of the Swiss round before the bracket stage of the 2023 Randomizer Doubles Tournament is finally going to be solidified and figured out as the Swiss mess is what it always is. Welcome to another exciting matchup because, again, as the Swiss rounds get more and more deeper, these matches get closer and closer and closer. So I'm just always hyped to be here. So today we have Dustforce Enthusiasts versus the Lions, and on comms will be myself, Cleanfield, joined by Liftoff. How are you doing this fine day, Liftoff?
I'm doing great. Very excited for some more Ori action this match, and then there's going to be a very exciting one later today as well. Yeah, as you mentioned, both these teams are have the same score so far in the Swiss. Both have won one match and taken 2 losses. So unfortunately, neither of them are still in bracket contention. I think both teams are very motivated to walk away from this tournament with an even record. So I think we're going to be seeing an intense and very close match.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give our runners a 1-minute countdown as we're starting it up here. So, yeah, as you said, with how we calculated it out, you kind of have to have a 3-1 record, so unfortunately we won't be able to move on. But honestly, for both these teams, just kind of looking to put on one last hurrah, one last showcase. So that's, having more fun here in the tournament. And what I've loved seeing lift up personally is so many of these teams in this tournament were kind of just ones that just were formed just on a whim to enjoying the game, right? We have a few teams that were like grandfathered from previous tournaments, maybe like 1 or 2, but every other team has just been formed because they're excited to play and just found a nice partner that suited them well. And honestly, some of the performances from those teams, even like these two especially, have just been crazy. Like how they were able to mesh together, and comfortable and be well with communicating, just with only a few weeks of practice. It's just been amazing to see, right?
Yeah, definitely been a fun tournament to watch and to follow. But as we can see, the countdown is nearing its end, and our runners are going to be starting momentarily. So I'm going to ask the age-old question: what do you think is going to be our first progression this seed?
Wall jump. I'll help. Wall jump. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Looks like we've got no Swamp, no Ginzo, and no Misty for our relic locations, as we're only choosing 8 out of the 11. So one dungeon has knocked away, and then we got 2 other areas that are kind of interesting, like far right for Swamp and far left for Misty. So we'll have to see. That's going to be pretty interesting. We still have 2 dungeons that we definitely need to locate, the Forlorn Ruins as well as Horu, and a lot of early game areas, which I kind of like for these runners. Just they don't have to think way too far ahead about, the relics that are so far in late game areas. Just focus on the ones that are right here. We're finding a Clyde right under here, so that's our first skill. My bet did not pay off. But we can still find something, maybe like a Wind Restored into another skill, potentially for our progression here.
Yeah, Glide is nice and comfy to have, especially if our runners have to go into Sora, which does have a relic, this seed. So chances are very good you have to enter Sora proper. But Glide on its own doesn't really do anything. It doesn't actually allow them to check any more pickups, so there's still going to be some further form of progression to be found. Might still be 2 Keystones, might be Wind Restored, which gives access to another pickup, or maybe even something like a Swamp Teleporter or something, which would take them to the right side of the map, where Glide is a lot more helpful.
God, the dreaded teleporter progression, which I actually think is still pretty nice, because just right side progression can always just be one of the big confusing things to track down. But if it's just given to you straight up with a teleport, actually no, I clean blessed this seed apparently. I guess I did roll this, so there you go. Clean water. It's the standard. Here we go. We've got 2 more pickup and Wind Restored. Oh my gosh, we are packed full of events. Where's Warmth Returned? And we're 3 out of 3 for the events. And so yeah, diving into Wind Restored, we've gonna into the water. I mean, we're gonna find 2 Keystones, but I reckon that something might still be on Frankie Walk because we found Glide and Wind, and it looks like let's see if any teams diverge here, or they're just gonna both take the keystones in. So we've got
It looks like
Avenge.
Blackthifer is heading to the right. He's going to be checking this pickup that comes into logic with Glide and Winterstone, and Avenge is doing the same thing. So both teams will be sending one runner to check this, while the other runner heads into Glade. It's always nice to be able to split up early, even if it's like a fairly small split like this. So there's not going to be a knowledge differential here if this turns out to be something. It's just another keystone, which might actually be forced progression anyway. If progression is wall interaction, it takes them all the way through Spirit Caverns. But yeah, good to know that it's there, but not exactly a huge game changer. And there's wall interaction in the form of climb.
Yeah, that's really interesting how that shaped out. So we had a keystone there, and then 2 in the water. I'm wondering if 2 of those were forced, as in one with the wind, one with the water, but then the other water pickup was just randomly placed as a keystone. That could have been the situation. So that's really funny. But honestly, those are just the events are just, at least these two, I mean, are just so underrated, and especially this type of scenario just makes Sorrow and the whole left side just feel so much more comfortable, as well as you don't have to worry about leaving behind any dirty water pickups. So for these runners, I'm actually super happy, and it'll be super comfy knowing that we have both of these events just right out of the way.
Yeah, it looks like Spirit Cavern progression I mentioned is looking more and more likely, since basically all we're finding here is keystones. There were 3 in Wall Jump Loop that Mattermonkey collected. Let's see if AvengedRuler goes for those as well. He's definitely going for that climb. And Mattermonkey takes a death, but he actually placed a very heads-up safety save, so it's not going to lose him much time. And it looks like Avenge is taking that climb and heading directly into Blackroot. I like this divergence. You really don't want to be checking areas double. You want one teammate to finish clearing out an area and then head into it later to get all the important pickups and skip all the unimportant ones. So it's always nice when you have the opportunity to split up like this. And Blackthifer is approaching climb now, and let's see. Actually, looks like he wants those keystones that Lion has informed him, and maybe also that energy cell that Lion has informed him of before the team, the Lions, is going to be splitting up.
Yeah, because so like looking at this kind of the state of where progression is, we've still got maybe potentially one more skill. Could be in the form of blue breakage, could be a vertical accessible skill, could be a teleporter. So they're still definitely going to be keeping their eyes out here in this kind of early game section as they're getting. I always like using this place to get your nerves out in all different types of areas, and already we're seeing some great splits. The split to go ahead and say, let's go check Flonky Walk, the split for Avenge going right into Blackroot. So continue on through. I think definitely I'm keeping my eyes on Avenge as well as Lion, who will be checking out our new areas and seeing that there could be potentially something over at that Charge Flame tree, but is kind of lacking a few keystones, so might need to actually go trek the keystones that are in the Glades Loop.
I actually think, didn't he get those? I might have missed. Actually, he can get this pickup here. Easier than usual with Climb. Glide does help here quite a bit. And 2 health cells. Not hugely impactful, since Clean Water is on the map. That's usually the big thing you need health to substitute for. But it's still nice in case something like Bash doesn't show up, to be able to take a damage boost or 2. And not having the Keystones Lion is going to be heading into Blackroot, and it looks like Mattermonkey is doing the same. After having cleared out Spirit Caverns, there isn't really much they can do otherwise at this point.
Yeah, gonna have to just more or less kind of retrek each other's locations here, because I think there's probably at least one keystone. I didn't see what the orb XP was on Lion's screen or Avenge screen, but we'll be definitely keeping an eye out. We got another health regen. Health's being very friendly so far, so already comfortable enough to potentially have enough health for the escape, depending on how our skill is going to roll out for us. But I'm still kind of liking what I'm seeing here from all runners, as Climb Glide doesn't get us access to the Razzie No pickup, so kind of looking to see potentially maybe another keystone here in BRB, and then have us go through Spirit Caverns.
Yeah, that's the bet. There's like 2 more pickups in Logic. I think if one of them is a keystone, then that's enough to head through the top of Spirit Caverns. Yeah. Raziel and Mattermonkey finds the keystone, and let's see if he takes this into Spirit Caverns immediately, or if he finishes up the slow part of Blackroot so that he doesn't have to do it later on a revisit, since there is a Blackroot relic. And it looks like he's heading into Spirit Caverns now that he has enough keystone. I like this play.
Yeah, this is awesome play. Awesome play from both teams. We'll see what the Lions determine. It looks like they're gonna still tread through Blackroot. I think for Lion's part, especially because Lion already went through the entirety of Spirit Caverns and only has 3 keystones. So we'll need to keep going until Lion gets the 4th. But yeah, so Mattermonkey is definitely making the big decision here to say, Avenge, you continue through Blackroot. I'm going to keep on going, as we just found a Billy cell there. So yeah, looking like just needed to get that 4th keystone in Blackroot and then come back here to head through the Grove area.
There is one more Blackroot logically accessible pickup, the ability cell in the main room that unlocks after you turn on the lights. There's also this pickup that's not logically accessible, but Avenger's going for it anyway with some clean crusher movement, getting an ability cell, a very nice resource to have. Now probably going to head left to check up that pickup. And if it's something, probably going to warp out. If not, going to check the Raziel No area, even though it's not in logic, just to have the teleporter for a later revisit. And there's another keystone.
Keystones.
Actually,
name of the game.
Yeah, actually taking the ride back up.
Yeah, this actually isn't that bad because that jump is up there is really spooky. And I think this doing the altar and coming back here only saves like a handful of seconds. So this isn't that bad of a just.
Yeah, I think it feels slower than it is because you've spent so much time just standing there and not doing anything.
Yeah. But I mean, 10 seconds are wasted on a teleport. So there you go. So Avenge will be taking this because this is out of logic. Climb glide I don't think is enough with like that ramp up in standard, I believe. Maybe if we had double jump, then that would be enough. But keeping my eyes on Mattermonkey's screen as we're gonna get new checks here, 2 specifically that it looks like the game has been pointing us towards with all those keystones. So let's see what's on this charge flame tree as well as the pickup on the other side of that blue wall.
And there's charge jump. That's massive. Avenger's going to want to follow his teammate as quickly as he can. Nice micro ledge there. Doesn't actually need glide and picks up a map stone out of logic, but nice to have. And like we suspected, is going through the. And meanwhile, the important pickups come flying quick and fast. AvengedRuler finding a broken forlorn teleporter that's very useful, since we do need forlorn access. And that charge jump gives him access to a couple of pickups around the map. There's the wall jump revisit. There's this. There's the Spirit Tree XP. He can't actually head here to the right because he still doesn't have blue break. But yeah, charge jump is great to have. It opens up so much. And there's the blue break that we're talking about.
The other charged skill, a lot of great things happening. So Lion's actually going for a Frankie walk here. Isn't going for the magnet list. That is... Oh my goodness. Oh, what a mad lad. What a mad lad. Oh wow, and then a Gumon seal is left of Grove. Okay, so man, so many things happening. Found a charge jump, and now we found 2 out of 3 pickups that can get us access to Forlorn right away, and that's going to be in a nice area. We'll have to see how long it takes for the Lions to get to the Grove area, because Lion went ahead and did Frankie walk, so is going to be avoiding Grove area for now. But I think with what they're thinking, hey, something's still probably most likely in logic, and probably it's going to be something vertically locking that charge flame there. But with that, the right side of the map is pretty much open to all of our runners now. So the biggest question for this mid game is, how are they going to split up these areas? We've got Grove and Grotto, as well as Glades with a relic that we haven't found quite yet.
Yes. This routing is going to work out very nicely for Avenged, since he's going to be picking up C-Jump, and since he already has Charge Flame, can actually go through here, doesn't have to spend the Keystones. Is going to find Charge Flame on the Charge Jump on the Charge Flame tree, and can break through the ceiling and immediately continue heading to the right. Might also check Valley Entry, which also comes into logic with Charge Flame. So yeah. Meanwhile, Blackthifer seems a little unsure what to do. I hope, for the sake of the Lions, that he is going to do the Spirit, is going to do the Charge Flame area, or the Spirit Caverns trek.
Definitely, I think with the Charge Flame will be up. Just at least from what we're seeing, Blackthifer's using a lot of Charge Flames right now. Can very easily head over there, and it looks like that. Yeah, that will be the case. So we'll definitely be getting that Charge Flame as well as the crucial Forlorn Teleporter. So honestly, this is super comfy. We've got tons of blue breakage, we've got verticality, and we've got all of our lovely wind of world events to just cruise on through the right side of the map. So I'm really liking this. So I guess, you know, as we're getting into it, it's like more or less thinking what's next, because let's think about this. We've gone through entirety of upper black group, no relic to be found. Most likely lower, as the chances that's locked by grenade are becoming significantly higher with each pickup we find.
Yeah. But there's like so much on the map right now, right? There's basically all of Grove, there's all of Grotto, there's like all of Swamp. Since we have Climb, Sea Jump, and Clean Water, like even Swamp Swims in Logic, like it's just a huge field of possible pickups where the next piece of progression could be. And even though Dustforce Enthusiasts are probably slightly ahead at this point, it's by no means guaranteed that it will stay that way. It very much depends on who is the next, who picks up the next progression when.
Just has 248 experience above Spider Lake, so that's quite a good bit. Yeah, I think that's the game saying there's so much open in Logic right now. Hey, there's wall jump from what I predicted way earlier. That's not where I thought it would be. So it's another form of climbing on those walls. And yeah, you said it. It's all about where are our runners going to be prioritizing to find more dense locations. Potentially the biggest thing now is that left side progression, because we have quite a few that are locked by that, as well as all these shards that we still need to find. We need one more for Forlorn and all three for Sunstone there.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best form of left side progression they could find at this point would be Sorrow TP with Glide, Climb, and Charge Jump. That's a super comfy way of accessing Sorrow. And there's another Gumon Steel Shard that actually puts Dustforce Enthusiasts at knowledge with everything they need to access Forlorn Ruins, so that might also come into play. And there's the Grove Relic, so a lot of things happening.
Yeah, the Grove pickup like above, to the left, like that little area that used to be 100 XP because it was really glitchy, but now it isn't. Was one as well. So yeah, that should be Forlorn access. That's crazy, really good. 15 minutes in, one of the dungeons with our relics have already been discovered, at least for Dustforce Enthusiasts. But I don't doubt that the Lions potentially could also get that access. Those shards were not in hard locations, honestly, at all. So now, kind of we've got besides wall jump skill parity for everyone here. So yeah, the biggest question is where are people going to be searching? Especially, my biggest thing is maybe like you said, Swamp Swim and Outer Swamp Loop. There's no relic there, so how are these runners going to value that area more than others? But it's still pretty dense, and honestly, with Clean Water, the game's looking mighty tasty right now.
Yeah, Mattermonkey trying to get some magnet shenanigans with energy to work there to open that. To open that vault doesn't work, but so he just finds an energy cell. It sounds like a sound strategy to me. Meanwhile, there's that Sorrow teleporter that I was talking about in the plant at the top of Grotto, and another energy cell. This is looking like a very, very comfortable skill set. Of course, we still need. Of course, there are still two skills that could hard lock things: Grenade and Stomp for the Horu Relic, or the Forlorn Relic, and Grenade we already talked about in Blackroot. So definitely have to keep an eye out for those. We also haven't seen a single Sunstone Shard, so who knows where those are hiding. While Lion finds the Valley TP. Also nice, but Sorrow TP is definitely much nicer with this setup. But that's probably not going to stay unfound for long. Blackthifer will probably be heading through there shortly, while Lion is heading downwards. And that's not a pickup you skip if you have Charged Flame.
Yeah, this is wild, the sequence of events here. Left side is just not even a a worry at this point, right? I guess the biggest worry is like, man, it's like we have all these skills, we have so much open to us, but man, we just have to walk. That's our fastest way to traverse. No bash grenade, no dash, no even like using grenade jumps. So that would be my biggest worry honestly. Is like, man, where are all these? As we found the Grotto Relic, as well as the Ginzo teleporter, just falling down straight into Gumo's hideout. Ginzo teleporter not as useful in this seed as others because no Ginzo Relic this time around. But if Water Vein Shards just start falling out of everyone's pockets, like there's like a 3 right here. Oh my, well maybe, maybe the game is saying, hey, Ginzo?
Yeah, there might actually be progression in Ginzo. With this skill set is very much enough to ascend basically all the way up to the top. If the Water Vein Shards are, if the necessary Water Vein Shards are found, of course. Yeah, you can do a lot with the skill sets. You can't do any of it fast.
Yeah, that's the one problem, right? We just have to cruise on through, but it's still just, it's super comfy. I've got I really do feel like all of our runners here are feeling really nice about this skill set, despite not having anything that is actually going to be super quick. So now, as a former stable race, we've got knowledge of Grove and Grotto. No Glades, no Blackroot yet, as far as right side relics go. And with all these teleporters just falling out, that starts to become the conversation: is who's gonna take the plunge with all this health, with climb, charge jump? Oh, and there's the horror TP as well. And there it is. Lion's gonna go ahead and get right to the left side of the map. What a play!
Yeah, I like this. It's in logic with the skill set, certainly. So logical progression could be hiding out here for all we know, but meanwhile Mattermonkey finds Dash. That's huge. In Outer Swamp Loop. And it definitely a big play since this area has no relic, so it might be a while until the Lions check it. But wow, Dash is just like exactly what our runners were wanting. That's the go fast skill. That's like basically everything they need at this point. Unless a certain skill hardlocks a relic.
Yeah, what a crazy sequence of events there. Matter is actually going for Swamp. Is actually heading into like Inner Swamp, which is such a interesting. I mean, yeah, this pickups like this one are certainly are being pointed at. There's like, hey, there's a lot of good things around here. So that's definitely an event for them. And I'd say for now, the Lions is making that left side play first. And that's pretty huge as well. We have a Sar Relic. This is a super dense area. All the comfiness of Glide and Wind is showing up here. So that they're super glad to get that in the early parts of the game. I was wondering if Lion was going to set up a key to potentially. No, it just is going to go right for spending those keystones and heading.
Still has 4. Forlorn Access isn't far away. So I don't think keystones are what he's worried about quite now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now I would say Dash itself is kind of like one of those skills that puts the other runner on a timer. They can do so much, the Lions, with this skill set, but Dash itself is just that catch-up ability that skill has is just, it's unreal levels. Avenge actually interesting is not going for it yet. I guess because Grotto is so dense, how much can it speed up right away? But I think definitely Avenge has that in the back of his mind and will be certainly potentially saying, how could I route in a Swamp Loop check with what I'm doing so far?
I think he also wants to wait for his teammate to finish up this area so that he knows which pickups he has to target and which he can safely leave behind, which definitely makes sense.
Oh, Dash in Upper Sorrow. Now that's also huge. Okay. Wow.
That's such an interesting skill divergence. Probably the 2 most powerful skills in the game. One only known to the right team on the right side, and one only known to the team on the left side. Who would you rather be at this point? I'm honestly unsure.
Yeah, that's wild. I think I definitely, just thinking about where our runners are gonna be locating, I think I'd definitely rather be the Dustforce Enthusiasts at this current moment, because again, Sorrow actually has a relic, so that is an area that they'll be searching definitely thorough. While Swamp is one of those areas that's just like it's not necessarily right there. Having to go through Outer Swamp Loop, especially, that's deep in the swamp area that our runners are not going to be prioritizing too heavily, as we are now finding a Sunstone Shard. So we've got a Horde TP as well as one Sunstone Shard for the Lions. So only one away there, but they're still missing, I believe, one Gumansil Shard that I think might have been in Grove to get their access for that.
Yeah. They're both in Grotto now. Still being very thorough here, even though they have found the area relic. It is a dense area. Even going so far as doing mini-boss, I guess they just don't want to be randoed by potential bash being here. Of course, we know it's not here. It's hanging out in Sorrow instead. But yeah. They will definitely find it when they start searching for the Sorrow relic. The question is, how long will they put off heading to the left side?
Yeah, that is the question, and that's more or less been kind of like one of the big questions of the tournament. There's our Sorrow relic hiding out in left Sorrow, so Lion's done with that area. Will continue back onto the Sorrow TP, and will most likely head all the way down, break those Kuro Rocks, and start looking through Valley as our next left side relic location, as Mattermonkey's going to head into Blackroot. This is actually pretty crucial knowledge at this point in the race. Is our Blackroot relic going to be grenade locked, or is it accessible with this skill set?
Yeah, he can get every pickup that is not hard locked by grenade with the skill set he has. The one is kind of tricky, kind of precise, the grenade puzzle. But yeah, so once he finishes this visit of Blackroot, he will know, do we need grenade or not? But of course, if you do need grenade, there is the Forlorn Escape. They do have glide, so it's probably going to be fairly easy to acquire.
Well, it would also be useful. What also is useful for that is just finding grenade, which Avenged did. It's in the Grotto Crushers.
Oh yeah.
So well, we just found that. So there you go.
That solves that problem. That also gives them grenade jumps. So now Team Dustforce Enthusiasts have two forms of going fast, which are probably definitely going to be very welcome. And it looks like Avenged is heading up now and routing in his dash as well. While Mattermonkey is probably going to warp out from the tree here and pick up that grenade before continuing on in Blackroot. Or not.
Such a wild skill difference for one of the weirdest ones I've seen so far. We have Bash on right side, and it looks like Mattermonkey and Avenge are holding off from Sorrow, but they have dash as well as grenade jumps. This is so interesting how this is shaped out for our runners so far. And Lion went ahead and is now cruising through and exploring the biggest of Valley. So still, I would say is the Lions having that left side advantage, but Dustforce Enthusiasts have that big skill advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see like how big that dash pickup is. Like Mattermonkey is just so quick in like getting to all these pickups. Meanwhile, they have to walk everywhere. I mean, they have bash, right? So they can bash glide, but still, dash is just like the fastest way you can move in this game, and it's not particularly close, except for grenade jumps.
Yeah, and grenade jumps can be tricky because like you can't just grenade jump anywhere. You got to grenade jump at a specific wall, have a nice angle that works out, and then you can also additionally use maybe like a jump during the grenade jump to even have more momentum. So continuing on through left side, checking. Mattermonkey is now heading to Sorrow. It's a crucial moment. Could find their bash, depending on how he routes it. It's going to go for the above charge jump ability cell first. And Avenge will be taking that grenade and will be now cruising on through, which is also pretty crucial. The Lions skipped Grotto Crushers, the one right next to the double jump key door. So that could be crucial. We'll have to see. Is our Blackroot relic going to be locked by a grenade? Because that will be a nice advantage for Dustforce.
Yeah, definitely. And you really Lion picking up the Valley Relic meanwhile. Doesn't have Stomp for Bird Stomp, but he does have Plant Charge Stomp, which works just as well, if not better. Just going to be heading up here, checking out this one pickup, and let's see where he heads next. Looks like he's heading into Glades and going to try to find the Glades relic. Might also be grenade locked at this point. So it could very well be that he's going to walk away from there, and I think, yeah, he thinks better of it and leaves again. I didn't catch where he's teleporting now. And it looks like it's slower BRB time for him as well. And the relic is not grenade locked. So Lion is going to be finding that shortly. But of course that might delay them finding grenade even further. Putting off those grenade jumps. Which means the speed advantage that Dustforce Enthusiasts have just keeps on growing. And Mattermonkey is going to be finding Bash right here.
Yeah, that's just... how this sheet is shaped up has been so interesting. The Lions still have kind of a quote-unquote relic advantage. They'll definitely be able to get the Blackroot one, and they do have the Valley one. But yeah, like the catch-up here is going to be... It's going to just continue to grow here, as now Avenged is heading through checking Glades pickups. That could be another one that's grenade locked, so we'll have to keep in mind. And honestly, now we're kind of just thinking about that. Oh, it is grenade locked. Okay,
it is, yeah.
That's big advantage there for Dustforce Enthusiasts, right next to the Glades teleporter, so they will be able to have that in their pocket. Don't have to worry about that anymore. So yeah, the Lions will definitely be hoping that at some point they're able to track down that grenade, but it is in a tough spot.
There's a Sunstone Shard. That's pretty big. Together with the one in Sorrow that Mattermonkey is definitely going to be finding on the way to the relic, that also gives them Horu access. So yeah, it's looking like we're actually pretty close to the end now all of a sudden. It's happened pretty quickly. Just need some more relics. Which ones are missing? I'm not quite sure. We definitely still haven't seen the Forlorn relic.
And then Horu as well.
And Horu, yeah. Those two.
Yeah, so those are the two big ones blocked by dungeons. No one has opted for that, because I do believe that Mattermonkey, I think at least, can get there, but I think Avenge needs one more shard. I think the one above Spirit Caverns. Yeah, this is super crazy how this is shaped up to be. I think so. Now we've got Lion with a Gumon Seal shard, going to be picking that up, catching back up in the shard locations. Could opt to find Dash with the route that Lion's doing, but we'll have to see, because again, it's that point of the seed where you're just picking up the stuff that you just need, the stuff that was relayed to you by your teammate, and say, hey, I got that, I'm good, I'm out.
Yeah, and as nice as Dash is, you don't really need it. You can, of course, they probably need it in this case if they want to have any chance of catching up, but they don't know that, right?
Yeah, that's always just how the game and seeds always roll out to be. So Mattermonkey going to be finding the Sar relic. I guess, yeah. Oh, there we go. I was about to say, when are we going to Forlorn? Right now. Avenged, bottom left, will be the first to trek into Forlorn. This is the last area well, I guess the last two areas that are going to be potentially difficult for our runners, because we could have a Stomp Rock relic for both Forlorn and Horu.
Yeah, but I think this is going to work out quite nicely in that Avenge is probably going to head up here now. Lion finding Dash meanwhile. Then he's going to be heading down, and then he can head to the Forlorn Escape. If the relic's there, great. If it's not there, he can just do the Forlorn Escape and get the Stomp hit, because he knows it's going to be Stomp locked.
Yeah, so Lion ended up finding Dash, so a little bit closer to skill parity, but the crucial one being Grenade down in the Grotto Crushers. That will still be an advantage for just Dustforce Enthusiasts, as we're going to see Avenge now trucking through and collecting the bulk of these Forlorn pickups. We've got 3 more towards the entrance, and then we've got 1 which is on the actual escape itself.
Yep. And then of course there's Horu, which has a decent chance of having a stomp locked relic as well.
Oh, there it is.
There's the Forlorn relic, so Forlorn is not going to be needing stomp.
Just waiting for the day where we have a race that comes down to what horror rooms people check. I mean, it's still decently close. I mean, but yeah, the grenade pickup for now is going to be one that's going to keep the Lions just a smidge out of the Dustforce Enthusiasts reach, because we have one behind a grenade, and that's just the simple fact. But they can do the escape, most certainly. So honestly, I think what the Lions will be hoping for is that we have a stop locked one in Horu, so they have to do the escape anyway. And they're like, oh, well, now we have the hints for both of the skills we need.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think their big hope. How many stomp lock pickups are there in Horu? There's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, we believe we've got 4.
So it's like definitely more likely to not be stomp locked, but it's like a decent chance all the same.
Yeah, for sure. Lion's actually doing some Ginzo checks. I like this. There was a decent chunk in Lower Grotto that had just a Water Vein Shard, and used the Ginzo TP to check out kind of like the upper Ginzo escape, as well as this banana stand here. This is a nice dense area. I actually don't mind this.
Meanwhile, Avenged is heading up for the Sorrow Relic and got his Horu access on the way. So we might be seeing him head into Horu after this, which would be exciting.
Yeah, that might be really nice. I think Horu's like, at some point you just say, hey, we just gotta start checking. Maybe we'll have one runner be in charge of like the L rooms, one runner when they get there in charge of the R rooms, however runners want to split them up. We haven't had too many horror relics, so this tournament, so always happy to see one. Because man, those rooms are certainly a doozy, especially L3. That one's a major doozy.
Love me a good L3. I actually like this routing from Avenged. He's going to be hunting for the Valley Relic first. Well, there's double jump. That's nice. Not going to complain about that. Well, actually, he knows where the relic is because Mattermonkey just found it. But so he's just going to be heading there, and then it's Horu time. Probably going to pick up double jump as a comfort skill. That's going to have them on every skill except Stomp, which might actually be the one that they desperately need, which would be the chance for the Lions to catch up. But I'm afraid at this point, if the Horu relic is not stomp locked, then this is definitely looking like a likely Dustforce Enthusiasts victory.
Just they're keeping steady a little bit, because Lion was actually able to find a Sunstone Shard in Ginzo, so they now have actually horror access as well. Not the easy one, right, just in the middle of Glades, but they're able to get access right in that. Oh my gosh, I synced Horu. We love to see it. Let's go. So now we're into Horu for both teams, and that begins the big question as we are checking down what rooms are they going to prioritize first. We've got some dense ones in, both L4 and R4, as well as, oh my goodness, it's right there. Wow.
Okay, well, Avenge has all the relics. He can just door warp immediately and finish out the seed. But he is actually going to be helping his teammate. I think they lost during the communication. They lost the location of one of the Sunstone Shards because Mattermonkey is only on one out of the two that he needs. So it looks like maybe he's going to be helping him search for it, because once he finishes the seed, he is not allowed to go back in. Definitely an interesting play. Also, of course, a risk, because they don't know where the Lions are. And if this is what ends up losing them the race, then that would definitely feel bad. Or maybe not. I don't know what Avenge is doing at this point.
Yeah, so really, for the moment, it looks like, again, it's still going to, at least, they're going to have a decent size advantage, because they still have Grenade, and we have one relic right to the left of the Glades teleporter that was grenade locked. So that is the one thing that they will continue to have above their opponent here. And there we go. So now Avenge is going ahead, leveling up Ultra Defense. It looks like Avenge is ready for the final escape.
Going to be another decently quick seed. Not quite a sub 40 probably. A very low 40. Definitely a respectable time. Turned out pretty jet in the end. Even though it didn't look like that at all in the beginning, when we only found keystones and glide and climb. But the fortunes can turn quick in the Ori randomizer. And Mattermonkey is now also in Horu, also collecting his final relic, and just a couple of seconds behind his teammate in starting the final escape.
I always love this when the routing just turns out your teammates are just so happen to be heading to Horu at the same time. I love this to see. So Avenged in the bottom left, heading through, has just so many skills. Like what we were able to find in this seed from the slow start it turned crazy really, really quick. So now going to be going ahead through this elemental room as Mattermonkey, his teammate, will be starting the escape at a similar time. We have clean water, no problems about any swim or any fish really. Is going to be definitely looking to be setting up that final grenade jump to skip 40 seconds of that final cutscene.
And accidentally spawned Kuro. Might not actually grenade jump after all. You can do it if Kuro is coming for you, but it is risky, and Avenge is just not going to take the risk. That might mean Mattermonkey might actually beat out his teammate if he manages to avoid the Kuro spawn, and it looks like he does. Taking extra care here. Taking a bash to the left, getting rid of climb storage, very nicely done. Setting up and heading for the grenade jump, and doesn't get it. Bonks his head. They're still going to win the race fairly solidly, while Lion continues checking pickups in Horu, and Blackthifer is checking Glazer. This check makes sense, of course. If the relic is here, you don't have to search for a grenade, but we know it isn't, so it's just going to be kind of unfortunate. And other than Stomp, there's not really anything left to find. I mean, it would be funny if Stomp were here, but
Crazy how the finale, the seed just turned out the last few minutes here. That was super well done from Dustforce Enthusiasts here, able to just close that out, go to the easy relics. They weren't too bad a location. Again, honestly, the trickiest one just was behind a grenade pickup, and that's really what spelled it out, because all that the Lions are missing is the Forlorn one, which they'll find in just about a moment here. So they'll just be down just that Glaze relic, and unfortunately that was just the one that was locked. And what spelled it out for Dustforce here is that they continued to stay decently thorough in the right side, right? Did not hard skip any of those crazy areas. Were able to find dash earlier, as well as grenade, and took that towards the left side and felt really good about their chances.
Yeah, definitely. That grenade pickup is what ended up deciding the race. They also had dash, which gave them a comfy cushion. But I believe that if the Lions had found that grenade on their first visit to Grotto, as they very well could have, we'd be looking at a different race here. But GG's to the Dustforce Enthusiasts, taking their record up to a balanced 2 wins, 2 losses over the course of the tournament, and they are actually on deck for an interview. So let's pull our winning team in and ask them what they thought of the seed.
hello, GG on your win. How are you feeling?
I feel incredible. That is the best doubles performance we have ever had.
Well,
I'd agree with that.
Well, I'm
Love
very
to hear
glad.
it.
Love to hear it. Glad that we were able to witness it, and we were able to close out the tournament in such a strong manner.
I definitely want to ask, man, I don't remember which runner it was, but I think it might have been Matter who decided to stay thorough in Swamp. Despite it not having a relic, was able to find dash at a really nice time. It might have been Matter or Event, I don't remember, but talk me through that play, deciding, hey, we're just going to stay thorough on the right side here, even though Swamp does have a relic. We like our chances to potentially tracking down some shards.
Honestly, it was mostly a case of we had the right side open, and with the exception of the Sorrow TP giving multiple access to there, like one of us had gone down to Grotto, so I thought I might as well do Swamp Loop, since it's really the only readily accessible area that's not already being checked. Okay, it paid off.
It very much did, yeah. You, I had another question, but I forgot. You can go ahead if you have another one. I might remember what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I mean, the siege just turned like insanely like quick, insanely fast. Like we had just like slow skills moving about, like the world map here. Like talk about how the communication went when everything just kind of fell into place, right? We had bashed, and then we found grenade jumps. Like, talk me through and how you two like prioritize like finishing up the areas that you guys are checking, and then saying, okay, now I'm gonna go get that really quick skill that helps me go through a lot more of the game.
Yeah. So, I guess I would start here around the time we found Dash. So when we found Dash, I was like, hey, Matter, you should go lower Black Root. Because at that time we were also considering Sorrow, because we had Climb, Charge, Jump, and Glide, which makes Sorrow not too bad. Then once he got all the way down to Light Grenade Tree, I ended up finding Grenade, so we were like, oh, let's just swap out, because if the Black Root Relic happens to be Grenade locked, it would do better if I'm there. And then he went up to Sorrow, just so that we could stay split at the time as well. So that was kind of the logic there. On the last Sunstone Shard, towards the end, we figured I would just go and check, hey, is this relic stomp locked or not? And then, since I ended up finding it, like, really, really early, I was like, okay, I'll come help you out. Which we ended up not needing, because I remembered where we found it, roughly, but that was kind of our logic there. Bash I didn't go get immediately, just because for Forlorn you didn't really need it. But we keep pretty good notes of pretty good ideas of where things are. We keep a like Google Doc between the two of us that we can write down shard locations and stuff in.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
That's quite clever, yeah.
That is clever. And yeah, you go ahead, Left Off.
Yeah, just a quick update on the state of the race. Lion has the Lions are on 7 out of 8 relics. They just missed out on that grenade that you guys found. Lion did Forlorn Escape, got the hint, and has just located it, and is looking to close out this the race by and is heading towards the pickup that is the relic first. They have already been to Horu, so they actually must have found a different Sunstone Shard. I'm unsure where, but yeah, this is going to be Lion and Blackthifer being finishing up in very short order. Lion is actually teleporting to Horu and still going to end up on a great time.
Yeah, so giving some context for Dustforce Enthusiasts, that's kind of what was the big decider, is that they didn't actually go to Grotto Crushers finding Grenade. It's actually really interesting how it all shaped out, because at some points they had certain skills before you two. So I think this is actually, despite what the times that they're going to be getting, which is still a really nice sub 50 at least for Lion. We'll see how quickly Blackthifer can get there. But honestly, yeah, besides that, the race is decently back and forth. It's kind of hard to tell, because some people had a advantage in like the number of relics, while another team had advantage in the skills that they collected. So really interesting race on all things considered for the big mid and late game of the stretch there. That grenade was definitely one of the big ones that was the ultimate decider here.
Yeah. I guess I have one more question, and that's just you won this race, but it's not quite enough to continue on in the bracket of the tournament. So I just wanted to ask so this is going to be your last showing for the tournament. So I just wanted to ask if you have like any final thoughts on how you felt the tournament went, how you played, or anything you want to share with how the tournament went for you guys.
I think, given the context of how long it's been since both of us played and how little we've been able to practice together, I think we did perfectly fine. Better than I would have expected, even.
Yeah. I'm glad we could end on a pretty good performance as well. In some of the previous races I made quite a few mistakes, but in this one, we're pretty
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
that's what I'm happy about too. I'm just happy this last seed was actually pretty good. I felt like that's, again, even in practice, I feel like that's like the best seed we've ever done, probably.
Well, then GG on ending on such a high note. Meanwhile, Lion has finished the escape and Blackthifer has just entered it. So they'll probably, if Black goes for the grenade jump, they will both be ending with a sub 50 as well. Also a very good time, just overshadowed by two slightly better times on the left side. While Blackthifer is heading through the elemental room, takes a damage boost here, it's no problem. The water is clean and has been since the very start of the seed, so it's not going to be damage boost to swim. Actually takes a death, that's unfortunate. The clean water does not help against fire. But just right back into it and probably going to finish out the escape in short order.
It's really interesting to think about. Like, we're in a boiling volcano. How is there water here? That doesn't make any sense. I feel like that would be vaporized at this point.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's not think about that too closely.
Alright. Second try here for Blackthifer now. He's going to be hopefully holding, a little bit of glide here, able to skip on through. Bashes off these fishes. Can go for, might be, let's see what, okay, no. Was just doing the double bash of the fish just for fun. We'll be doing the standard charge jump glide. Very nice. Kuro skip. And we'll be looking, maybe set up the grenade jump here to, kind of a nice bash there. Not one that's just directly into the wall here. Beautifully done.
Very nicely done. GG. Yeah, then we'll see if the Lions want to join us for an interview. Always up to the runners, of course. Maybe they're feeling like it, maybe they aren't. But yeah, very fun match to watch. Definitely a good time.
Yeah, one that really ramped up. Like, we weren't expecting a time like this with where we were maybe only 20 minutes into the seed, and it just turned up so quickly.
Yeah, I remember talking about how they can do a lot and they can't do any of it fast, and then they ended up with 40, 50 times. Almost for sub 50 times and one pre-sub 50 times and one very low 50. So yeah, it's just indicative of how quickly the fortunes can change with one or two right pickups that just fall into your path.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if we can get the Lions here. Alright, looks like we will be getting interview from the Lions here in just a moment. Hello, the Lions. GG's on your performance.
Oh, thank you. GG's.
How are you feeling after that seed?
Could have done better, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting seed, for sure. I definitely liked this seed. I feel like that. Yeah,
I mean, it was a good seed. Just kind of stuck at what to do to not keep running after Lions and actually check new pickups, but.
Yeah, I really feel like you guys
we can't understand you well right now.
It feels like you guys like
Yeah, no,
Actually,
man.
second.
turned through the entire right side of the map, right? You had like nothing else left to check, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like that one. It's like like because we don't see, I feel like you don't see a ton of seeds where you get that like Sorrow TP early and can just like, oh, I have climb charge up, I can go to end glide, I can just go to Sorrow at like 18 minutes.
Yeah, was
But-
that your idea? Is definitely something I was gonna point out. Like you just said, hey, I'm just gonna go right now, like this
Yeah,
early,
I-
and I think you're the first one to actually head into Sorrow and finding that bash.
Yeah, I saw that. And I thought it was mainly like there's no swamp relic. And we had found the Grove relic, which we found in the Grove relic soon, at the Grotto relic. So at that point I was just like, why not go to Sorrow? There's a relic in Sorrow and in Valley, so I can just go to Sorrow. I have glide, wind, and I have like climb charge jump, so Sorrow's easy at that point. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely makes sense to not check swamp. And you actually did find bash earlier, but yeah, dash just
yeah, dash
Makes a lot of
exists.
things faster, and then grenade. Grenade was a thing. The seed.
Yeah. And it's just like the relic was, I already had the relic at that point, so I didn't want to, like, I didn't see a reason to check right side grotto at that point, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, and then we needed grenade for Blade's relic, so ended up taking extra time having to do Forlorn Escape, but oh well.
Yeah, that's just how Rando goes. Because honestly, this race was actually decently close. Because we were struggling. We had a team who was like had skill advantage, but another team who had like relic and like logically turning through the seed advantage. So it was actually a really interesting seed. So definitely hope you two watch this one back when you get the chance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to ask you guys as well. The tournament's now over for you guys. How do you feel about the tournament as a whole? Anything you'd like to share with the community about your feelings on the tournament, your feeling on your performance, or like any closing thoughts you want to share?
I mean, it was the first tournament I tried to join in, and I'm honestly just surprised I even got one win in. So I'm happy with that.
And for me, I mean, yeah, I would have like, I think it was kind of like I thought I did want to like get a win for this is I think it's the fourth Ori tournament I did, and I managed to never win a match aside from like qualifiers. So like I didn't actually win them, but like not getting last, and so but like and still every match I've been in a restream I haven't won, so that would be a goal at some point in the future.
That's kind of sucks, yeah.
But we did win last week, so that was nice. And it's just like I don't play a lot of rando that much. It's always fun. So yeah, I think I still did good and I was happy with what we did. Happy we got one win, and then this match I think also I played pretty well. So yeah, happy with that for sure.
Well, I'm glad you could close out the tournament on a performance you feel good about, and get a win in there. And yeah, thanks for being a part of the tournament, and it was a lot of fun to watch your journey through.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, awesome job. So that will just about wrap it up here for this first race of quite a few this weekend. Coming up in about 4 hours, we've got Free Leaf Emoji versus Infinite Turtles. That's going to be a pretty hype matchup. It's a 1-2 versus a 2-1. That will be pretty crucial to decide potential seeding in the bracket, so definitely stay tuned for that one. That will be back on here on Ori Speed running, so in just about 4 hours there. So definitely tune in for that. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in for this race. Again, just helping out on the cast here, myself, Cleanfell, as well as Liftoff, as well as Turtle Guy 2412 and Infinite, helping out with restreaming, as well as trucking and giving us some great info throughout the race. apart from that, thank you all, and we'll be back in just about 4 hours. So stay tuned for more Ori action coming up later today.
Bye.
Mhm.